Okay, my name is Rick Bergen. I'm the CEO of pureVibranz, and tonight we're going to talk about beliefs about aging. So, how mindset shapes your health and longevity. So, is this who you're going to be as you age or not? You have no idea how much it is up to you. Let's dive in. Why beliefs about aging matter. Negative beliefs shorten lifespan by up to 7.5 years. Negative beliefs, just having them and living them every day. Positive beliefs improve resilience, cardiovascular health, memory, and longevity. Looks more like this. And beliefs act like mental epigenetics. So if you don't know what epigenetics are, we're going to talk more about it, but Dr. Bruce Lipton wrote a whole book on it, and it has to do with your own ability to control your genetics. Like, you have control of your genetics way more than you realize. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got next. Aging and decline. So, how do you imagine uh, decline or possibility for growth? Right? Which do you consider when you're thinking about aging? Is aging just about decline? Or is it actually maybe a possibility for growth? So the belief, aging always means decline, right? And I think if you look around, many people, unfortunately, would agree with that. How about aging brings renewal and wisdom? Because we can actually continue to be in a state of constant renewal and, of course, learned, right? The wisdom we've gathered from our years on the planet, what not to do, right? Just like an old tree that's been around a long time, learning. So, right one way, you've grown stronger with age. So, here's the participation part. So, make a note. Just one. We're going to keep it simple. Right one way, you've grown stronger with age. I know you can all think of one. Bring it to mind. All right. Ability to change. So, do you have an ability to change as you get older? Is that an option for you? Is that a possibility? Do you still challenge yourself with new skills? So, you could look at your parents if you're younger, or, even if you're older, maybe your parents have passed away. Did they continue to challenge themselves? Do you still challenge yourself with new skills? Here's the belief: I'm too old to change. How many have you heard that? And perhaps that's not what you think, but that's what you've heard from many other people. I know I have. I'm too old to change. Well, that's an interesting belief. Is it true? I don't think so. You could have this belief: I can learn and create at any age. Now, is that true? I'm gonna say I can learn and create at any age is true. I'm too old to change. That's just a sad belief. So we have the ability to learn and create at any age. List one new thing you'd like to learn this year. So now take note if you haven't even thought about having one new thing to learn this year. And you know, whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or beyond, if you don't have one new thing to learn, where are you going? What are you looking forward to? What's going to pull you forward into what's next for you in a positive way? So, list one new thing you'd like to learn this year. Some of you may have a whole list. That would be awesome. All right. A burden to others. So how many of you perhaps feel like you're going to be, or you are perhaps a burden to others, or you're going to be in the future, or you saw your parents and they had this belief that they were a burden to others? How do you impact your loved ones? So we don't always think about how we impact our loved ones, and in a good way, in a bad way. Am I a burden? Do I participate like a burden? Do I think I'm going to be a burden and then become it? Belief, I am a burden. It's really that simple. And I'm willing to bet you've all seen this with family members, especially as they get older and if they have to be taken care of. But you could have a new thought, like my presence enriches others, right? Let's replace that I'm a burden with my presence enriches others. And I think this kind of tells the whole story right here. Here's grandma with the grandkids, right? Imparting wisdom, spending time, continuing to grow and enjoy life, knowing that your presence actually does or can enrich others. So write one way you enrich others' lives, right? Can you think of one way you enrich others' lives? If you can't think of one way you enrich others' lives, look at that. Is it true? Or are you just unaware of how you actually enrich others' lives? All right, so one more. Write one way you enrich others' lives. I hope I'm not making you think too much. Actually, I hope I'm making you think a lot. Because this is what changes your life. This beginning to notice what you think about aging, whether you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 and all the way up. What did you think when you were 20? What did you think when you were 30? What did you think when you were 40? Where did you get those beliefs? And are they positive beliefs that are going to help you continue to live a full life? Best years. This is a good one. Best years. What excites you now? So, do you have something that excites you now? Something you love to do? Something you're looking forward to doing? What excites you now? So I notice as many people get older that they begin to lose things that excite them. They begin to forget about what I used to be, what I used to do, who I am, who I was. right? And so what's the belief around that? My best years are behind me. Can any of you relate to that in your family? From your friends, from maybe the parents of your friends. My best years are behind me. Whose decision is that? Is that anyone else's decision but yours? And of course, that's a belief that we begin to live into to validate the belief. Think about it. If you've decided your best years are behind you, then what do? You go about validating that by not doing anything, by not seeing what's next, nothing new and exciting, and what can I do now? The best years are still unfolding. How about that belief? So do you think that that statement, if you lived in that statement, the best years are still unfolding, as opposed to my best years are behind me, could that make a difference in your life? Could that make a difference from day to day as you're looking forward to what's next? Perhaps this is what's next, right? Learning how to do something you've never done with someone you love to be with or someone new. All right. Name a goal or dream you're pursuing. So, this really applies to all ages, if you think about it, right? Because you get these beliefs from other people, parents, family members, uncles, aunts, grandmothers. And as we begin to live into them, they really have an effect on our physical body, on our level of stress. So, name a goal or a dream you're pursuing, right? Well, have you got something that's pulling you forward to what's next? What else can I do? What else can I dream to live into? Cognitive decline. Now, this is a pretty big one. Is it necessary? How do you keep your mind sharp? So if we're doing the same thing we've always done, does that keep our mind sharp? Belief, memory loss is inevitable. Is it? Is memory loss inevitable? Well, I would seriously question that. Now, do we sometimes forget things in the moment? Yeah. But memory loss, is it inevitable? Well, I can tell you that my stepdad, who is 94, can tell you stories from every part of his life and give you the dates and sometimes the day of when something happened recently or literally 80 years ago. So that says to me that memory loss is not inevitable. So I can strengthen my brain with activity. Again, what challenges are you up to? A new challenge, right? I can strengthen my brain with activity. Now, the activity could be reading books, right? Now, is physical activity good? Yes, absolutely. Because that actually activates the brain too. Write 3 activities that sharpen your mind. So think about, what are you doing now? What are you doing to sharpen your mind? So what am I doing? Okay. So what I'm doing, and my partner Van, is we're constantly in research, researching stuff, learning new things, going to seminars, um, to advance our understanding of business and life. AI, newest thing, so valuable. Okay, learning the constant shifting in our reality, reading about it. So, 3 activities that sharpen your mind. What are your 3? Illness. So, do your habits influence your health? I'm willing to bet all of you can answer that question clearly with a big yes. Your habits influence your health. Well, here's the belief. Illness is unavoidable. So is illness unavoidable? Now, I'm going to say there's levels of, I don't know if I want to call it levels of illness, but let's look at this for a second. Illness is unavoidable. Well, perhaps or perhaps not. There's factors that really affect that, which in later weeks we'll talk about. But at the forefront of that is, what am I thinking? Does my thinking affect my health? Do the habits I've developed influence my health? So if I have bad habits as it relates to my health, illness is unavoidable, right? Because of the habits. If we don't change the habits, and here's the first habit to change, I can stay resilient. I can stay resilient. Now, let me give you an example of what I would consider resilience. Because I have a belief that I have more control over whether my body gets sick, my physical being experience sickness, and I have some results that might indicate that. Now, does that mean I never get a cold? No. Does that mean I don't sometimes sneeze? No. Does that mean sometimes I don't have pain somewhere? No. I'm talking about serious reoccurring illness. And I can tell you that I don't have that for sure. And I actually have not been to a medical doctor personally. And I don't suggest you do this, but I'm just telling you my experience. I haven't personally been to a medical doctor in 45 years. 45. Yeah, 45 years. I can stay resilient with healthy lifestyle. So I am maintaining a healthy lifestyle by changing habits, which I have been doing now for about 15 years. Okay? So I can stay resilient with a healthy lifestyle. List 2 habits for better health. That's an easy one. List 2 habits for better health. So what are possibly 2 things that you're not doing that you could be doing? Now you could list 2 that you're already doing, right? for better health. But if you want to work your mind a little bit, if you want to actually look into who am I being now, and is there some other two habits perhaps I could be doing that would make it better health? Because we want to live longer and stronger and be healthy well into a very late age. How much is that late age? Maybe you have to decide that. I'm looking seriously at being healthy well into my at least 100, maybe 110. It is possible, but it starts with the belief. Frailty. Okay. What movement makes you feel good? So do you have a movement that makes you feel good? I mean, or all the movements, they just don't feel good, feel strong. So what movement makes you feel strong? I have a few in yoga that make me feel strong. What do you have? What is your movement that makes you feel strong? So, belief, frailty is guaranteed. So this is one that I'm sure all of you have either seen from your family or other families, and maybe you're experiencing it right now in your family, where someone you're working with or helping is older, and older today could be 50, 60, 70 or beyond, and they're frail. Why is that? What are the beliefs that led to that being so? The habits that led to that being so? I can stay fit through movement. Now, there's a simple statement. I can stay fit through movement. How much does it cost to actually move? I can stay fit through movement. So this happens to be me and my sweetie. Where were we then?
You, towards the,
We were hiking somewhere.
in, Montana.
Oh yeah, Whitefish, Montana. That's the lake. Yes. So this was this is us doing movement, right? And we hiked all the way down from
The gondola, remember?
yeah, we took the gondola up and then we hiked down from I think it was around 11,000 feet. And we hiked all the way down. So I can stay fit through movement. And this was about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
During COVID.
Oh yeah. During the wonderful COVID times. So write one activity you enjoy. So it could be hiking, it could be pickleball, it could be golf, it could be tennis, it could be kayaking, it could be yoga, it could be dance, it could be. So just write one activity you enjoy or one activity you'd like to enjoy again that perhaps you stopped enjoying, right? That you really love to do, but you decided maybe I'm too old and I'm too frail. Loneliness. How do you nurture friendship? Okay, so how many older people do you see that just they're lonely? And again, you could be in a relationship or not, and live in loneliness. Is this reserved for older people? Not necessarily. So how do you nurture friendships? Here's the underlying belief: aging means isolation. So if you've decided that aging means isolation, if you've experienced a family member who's lived into that loneliness, that isolation, I can build connection at any age. Isn't that really true? I can build connection at any age. I'm working my mind. You can always find connection if you're willing to look. You could even attract it. So I can build connection at any age. And this is a connection of four beautiful women. And that would be my sweetheart on the left there and three other girlfriends of hers. The two in the center are grandmothers. And this was a triathlon that they were doing. And they're 50s, late 50s, 60s. Okay. And actually, I got involved in doing a triathlon myself. At how old was I? 60, 63, 64. So you can build connection at any age. Are you out there building connection? Name one person to reconnect with. So maybe there's somebody from your past, somebody that you haven't talked to for a long time, like that you absolutely enjoy. Whatever your age is, begin to get into the habits of connection, of staying connected to people, right? So you never live into a state of loneliness because you've developed the habits of connection. Value. What wisdom do you share? So, as you've gone through life and as you get older, obviously, you have more wisdom. Now, do we always use it? Not sure. But we have it. It is available. And if you don't share it, where's the value? The belief is I lose value as I age. So do you lose value as you age? Who is that up to? Is that not a powerful belief? That kind of underlying belief is very powerful. Could we change that? My value grows with wisdom. So if you're active and you're learning new things, your value grows with wisdom. Wisdom that you can pass on, right? You can pass on to your children, your grandchildren, and especially grandchildren in particular. Sometimes your children um, are not as easy to impart wisdom on as it would have value. But you don't have to have grandchildren, right? There's many people you can pass wisdom on to, younger people in particular, about how valuable life is and what you've learned and discovered. Write one lesson to pass on. Okay, so we'll write one lesson. Give you a moment to do that. Okay, let's see what else we got. All right. I know. Death. What brings you joy now? So this is learning to remain in the state of joy, right? Remaining and learning the habit of being in joy. Belief, death is the only thing ahead. Have you seen that? Have you seen that with a friend or family member or associate? Death is the only thing ahead. And guess what? If death is what you're looking forward to, death is clearly what you're going to get. And not that all of us aren't going to get it, but the question is, how soon? So death is only thing ahead, or life offers beauty daily, right? Life offers beauty daily.
Oh yeah, you get all the rain.
Are you taking advantage of the daily beauty? List 3 things that bring you joy, right? 3 things that bring you joy. You want to remember. You want to be. You want to enjoy. Be in joy. All right. 3 things that bring you joy. All right. Send those documents. Summary. Detrimental beliefs. Accelerate, decline, stress, and disease. Okay. Like a tree that's not getting enough light in the woods, right? It's in decline. It's in stress, and it will end up with disease. Empowering belief. Build vitality, resilience, and purpose. Looks more like this, right? Vitality, resilience, and purpose. Key takeaways. Aging is both biological and psychological, right? So, and here's the thing, the biological follows the psychological, right? The psychological has so much control over the biological. And I have some reference material for you I'm going to share with you in a minute. Negative beliefs accelerate decline. I mean, that's the bottom line. Negative beliefs accelerate decline. Which are you living in? Positive beliefs promote vitality. Just begin to notice, are you having negative beliefs? This is about realizing moment to moment, what are my underlying beliefs? Positive beliefs promote vitality. Friends at any age. Empowering beliefs reduce stress, strengthen immunity, improve resilience, and extend lifespan. That is the bottom line. Okay, let's look at some reference material. Let's expand our mind, learn something new perhaps, the power of belief in health and aging. Week 1, insights from 11 transformational books. Okay, you are the placebo. Joe Dispenza. I don't know if you've looked at any of Joe Dispenza's work. He's amazing. He's got some great stuff. Your thoughts are incredibly powerful. Choose yours wisely. Consider that statement. Choose yours wisely. Are you choosing? I think I'm going to come back on here. Are you choosing your thoughts? Or are they choosing you? Do you notice your thoughts? Because they are incredibly powerful. Why it matters? The book shows how the placebo effect demonstrates belief's ability to influence biology. And he's got an incredible story of healing that he did on himself. Okay. breaking the habit of being yourself, Joe Dispenza. If you want a new outcome, you'll have to break the habit of being yourself and reinvent a new self. Why it matters? The book explains how habits and conditioned beliefs shape well-being and how to consciously shift them, right? This is some great reading. Become supernatural, Joe Dispenza. When you believe in yourself, you believe in possibility. Okay, so this bridges science and spirituality, inspiring participants to transcend limitations through mindfulness. Mindfulness. Really, mindfulness is noticing what's going on in your mind, the underlying beliefs that are popping up. The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. And he's got an amazing story, and he was a doctor at Harvard teaching students, professor. And when he started to realize that the experiments he was doing, the results were not what they were supposed to be, and he began to understand how much belief had an effect on our physical biology. The moment you change your perception is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. Your perceptions change your reality, and they change your physical chemistry. It introduces epigenetics, which I mentioned earlier, how perception and belief literally shape cellular health and aging. Spontaneous evolution, Dr. Bruce Lipton. When we change our beliefs, we change our lives. So true. It shows how belief systems shape individuals and can drive collective healing and transformation. And one of my favorites and mentors from a long way back, You'll See It When You Believe It, Dr. Wayne Dyer. You'll see it when you believe it. And my other favorite from him, Thoughts Become Things. Thoughts become things. It harnesses the expectation and vision to reshape reality, promotes mental clarity and emotional alignment. And another by Dr. Dyer, The Power of Intention. Intention is a force in the universe, and everything and everyone is connected to this invisible force. What you think about comes about. We are the co-creators in this world, and it underscores the intention is the driving force behind healing and sets an aspirational tone. Can you heal yourself? Can you heal your life? Louise Hayes. Every thought we think is creating our future. Same story, different speaker. And this is classic affirmation-based practices for reframing beliefs, practical tools for aging well. Quantum healing with Deepak Chopra. Another favorite of mine. Quantum healing is the ability of your body to spontaneously correct and heal itself. Blends Eastern wisdom and holistic healing, integrating mind, body, and spirit. Superbrain, Deepak. Your brain is capable of miracles if you believe in its potential. Right? You have to develop this habit of belief about what's possible. Emphasizes neuroplasticity and reshaping mental patterns to enhance your resilience. And that has to do with expanding and connecting the neuron system in the brain and spontaneous healing of belief. Greg Braden, another one of my favorites. We are never more than a belief away from our greatest love, deepest healing, and most profound miracles. Highlights how altering core beliefs can unlock healing. Here's a little self-reflection worksheet that if you gave us your name and email address should have been emailed to you already. And the list of books, so you have that on hand.